Right now, the average monthly payment for a new pickup truck in America has quietly crossed $1,000 for a tool. To put that brutal math into perspective, guys are now taking out 84-month loans, 7 full years of debt, just to drive a truck off the dealership lot. But here's the part the automakers are absolutely terrified you'll notice. The trucks getting repossessed in the middle of the night, the ones being hauled out of driveways by the thousands, aren't the rusted-out 20-year-old work haulers. Those are sitting right where they belong, completely paid off, ready to start the next morning. It's the new ones getting towed away, the $80,000 ones. And that single, uncomfortable fact exposes the biggest lie in the modern automotive industry. There is a reason your grandfather's truck can survive a nuclear winter, while a brand new one needs a mandatory software update just to roll down the windows. They don't build trucks like this anymore. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and find out exactly why. To understand how we ended up here, you have to go back. Not just to a factory floor, but to a feeling. There was a time, not that long ago, when a pickup truck wasn't a luxury status symbol parked outside an office building. It was a promise of independence. You bought a truck, you paid it off in a few years, and it served your family for 20, 30, sometimes 40 years. My father's generation didn't lease trucks. They inherited them. They passed them down. A cast iron block, manual roll-up windows, and an interior you could practically wash out with a garden hose. Somewhere along the way, that promise got quietly rewritten behind closed doors. The truck stopped being a physical tool that you actually owned, and it became a digital product that you rent forever. And just like the housing collapse of 2008, almost nobody saw it coming. We were boiled alive slowly, feature by feature, because the people selling the dream to us were the exact same ones writing the new rules. So, who exactly pulled the trigger on the honest American truck? It's tempting to just blame the dealerships or the big three automakers getting greedy. But the truth is far more calculated than that. It wasn't just Detroit changing its mind. It was Silicon Valley invading Detroit. Corporate boards looked at a machine that was engineered to last 40 years and realized a terrifying truth for their shareholders: you can only sell a highly durable truck to a man once. That is a terrible business model for a stock price that demands endless growth. So, they made a decision. They stopped building heavy-duty vehicles, and they started building rolling iPads. A truck full of touchscreens, complex sensors, and proprietary software breaks in ways that your local independent mechanic simply isn't allowed to fix. They didn't just make trucks worse by accident. They engineered them to be disposable on purpose. Let's talk about the exact moment your modern truck breaks down. 30 years ago, if your truck ran rough, you popped the hood. You checked the spark plugs, the fuel lines, the mechanical linkages. You used your eyes, your hands, and your brain. If a part was broken, you bought a replacement for $20 and swapped it out in your driveway. Today, if a single 30-cent digital sensor fails, the entire truck goes into limp mode. It refuses to shift gears. It refuses to go over 20 miles an hour. It becomes a 3-ton piece of useless metal until you tow it to an authorized dealership. And why the dealership? Because the independent mechanic down the street, the guy who has been fixing trucks for 40 years, is legally and digitally locked out. The automakers hide their diagnostic codes behind proprietary firewalls. They have literally copyrighted the software that tells you what is wrong with your own vehicle. You aren't paying for a mechanic's labor anymore. You are paying a $500 ransom fee just for a technician to plug a laptop into your dashboard and press reset. And while you are locked into that 84-month loan, paying those ransom fees, the math is actively destroying you. A mechanical truck holds its value because metal and iron are timeless. But a digital truck ages exactly like a smartphone. In 5 years, that glowing 12-inch touchscreen on your dashboard won't be a luxury feature. It will be an obsolete, laggy, unsupported piece of garbage. And when the screen dies, the climate control dies. The radio dies. The navigation dies. A massive depreciation hit caused by a single fragile circuit board. Walk through any new truck lot today. Look at the sticker prices. $80,000. $90,000. For what, exactly? You are paying for a vehicle that actively watches you, that tracks exactly where you drive and sends that data back to headquarters. A vehicle that locks physical features behind a digital paywall. Heated seats that are already physically installed in the truck you bought, but that you now have to pay a monthly subscription just to turn on. We are paying luxury car money for spyware wrapped in thin sheet metal, and the men and women who actually use trucks for their intended purpose, the farmers, the heavy contractors, the guys who haul for a living, they see through the smoke and mirrors clearest of all. Because they remember when a truck was judged purely by what it could carry and tow, not by how many glowing screens it had on the dashboard. They remember when the word tough meant something you could fix with a wrench and a busted knuckle out in a field, not something you had to tow 50 miles to a dealer and wait 3 weeks for a microchip. And this is the part I need you to really hear. Let this sink in. When you buy a new truck today, you are not buying a truck. You are buying a membership to their business model. It is a membership you pay for every single month. A membership they can alter with an over-the-air update whenever they want. A membership that you never truly own. The old trucks, the 90s OBS Fords, the Squarebody Chevys, the early Cummins, they owe absolutely nothing to anyone. There are no monthly payments, there are no digital subscriptions, there is no corporate permission required to start the engine. You turn the physical metal key, and that machine is yours. That is not just nostalgia talking. That is financial freedom. The exact kind of freedom they quietly took away, one convenience feature at a time, hoping we were too distracted to notice. But here is the good news. The honest truck didn't die. It is still out there. It's sitting in barns, in backfields, parked under faded tarps in driveways all across this country. And the men who own them have quietly figured out the ultimate secret that the modern dealerships pray you never realize. Parts are cheaper than payments. A 30-year-old truck might need a new starter, a water pump, or a set of heavy-duty brakes. That is a few $100s, a Saturday afternoon, and parts you can physically hold in your hand. Compare that small weekend project to an 84-month loan on a fragile computer that depreciates by $10,000 the second its tires touch public pavement. The math isn't close. It was never close. Keeping the old truck alive isn't a compromise for people who can't afford a new one. The old truck is the smart choice. It is the shield against modern debt. And a massive, growing number of people are waking up to exactly that. Every old truck still running on the road today is a quiet act of rebellion. A reminder that we used to build things to last. So I want to hear from you down in the comments. First, what's the single most ridiculous tech feature you've seen pushed on a new truck today? And second, what was the honest truck in your life? The one that simply refused to die? Tell me below. I read every single one. Subscribe and stick around, because next time we're going all the way back to the exact year it all went wrong.